Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be working with the Spellbinders My Forever Person Clear Stamp and Die of the month December 2022. What I plan on working with today is this Love Floral stamp. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stamp it with some ink and then emboss it. And I'm going to lay these on here. And I know from past experience I need a little bit more space. So I'm going to put my up here, and I need to put it in the right direction. That'll give me some room to lay my dies around it, because I will die cut them out when I get done, and I want to make sure I have plenty of space for my die cut, so that's why I'm doing it like this. And then I'm going to lay this one down here. I could probably put that one a little bit more toward the center there, and that'll give room to die cut it out. And then I think I should be able to flip it and do another one so that I can save paper, because I'm going to make multiples of these. I'm getting these ready that I'm going to take to a party, and maybe people will possibly buy them. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, got that laid down, and just tuck this in. I'm going to try this Tattered Rose that I have here. I'm not sure how well this will emboss. I haven't done it before with this, but I thought I would give it a shot. It's just, we'll just see how that goes. If it doesn't work, we'll try again. I tried embossing with this earlier with the clear ink, and man, it really made it hard to see, but I think this will be, I'll be able to see it a lot easier. So I'll be real happy with that. Okay. That actually looks like it took pretty well with the first stamping. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay my paper down and get my, this is just clear embossing powder, crystal clear. It's from Stamping Up, and it is probably 30 years old, so hopefully it'll work just fine. I had this when I used to do a lot of stamping a long time ago, and then I kind of got away from it, but I kept all my supplies. They were in my attic, and so I thought, well, I've got it, let's try it. So I've got it covered up there. I'm just going to get this out of the way, put it back in there. And then I've got my heat gun over here. I'm just going to turn it on. I think that did fairly well. I should have probably used my anti-static tool for this, but since I'm going to die cut it out, if we had any little pieces here and there, it would not matter. I did fairly well. I think I saw maybe a piece there or something, but it should not matter because I'm going to die cut it out. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to color on this. So I'm going to just get situated and sit down and do some coloring. I'll speed it up so you won't have to sit and watch me do that for a long period of time, but we'll just get started on that. Okay, so I pulled some colors. I just have these Memo Office alcohol markers, so the colors probably won't mean anything to you, but I basically have a peach, a pale lilac, a blue-gray, a vivid green, and a deep green. I had some different colors, and then once I saw how this stamped, I decided I needed to modify the colors that I was using and get something lighter. So I'm just going to get started with that. Okay, I'm going to use my dies and get this cut out. So I'm just going to line them up. Okay, so I have all these die cut out, and I have them all layered 4 high, with the exception of this E. I just need to put the last little layer on there. So I have the colored layer and then 3 white ones that I've just stacked up, and that's what I'm just finishing up here. So I'll have them all layered. And then while I was die cutting, I thought I would go ahead and do some embossing. And so I got a little carried away when I was embossing. I was trying to decide what colors I wanted to use, so I embossed this, and I embossed this, and I embossed this. So that's what I've got to choose from. And I actually did 2 versions of the love. I've got one in a little different color scheme that I think looks kind of vintage. So I'm gonna just show you that. It looks like I need to grab, I've got some of my white ones here. So I've got this. So I have 2 different versions. This one is embossed with gold embossing powder, whereas this one was stamped with the milled lavender distressed oxide, and then I used a clear embossing powder for it. So that's the difference. But I think the gold on this one kind of makes it a little vintage looking. And so I was leaning toward this one and using this embossing panel for that. Was leaning toward that. I think that's the direction I'm going to go in that. And then I was kind of leaning toward maybe this color for this one. Trying to decide that. However, I did happen to have a piece of green laying there, and I just couldn't help but think that that looked really good on there. So I feel like maybe that would look really good on that. So let me know in the comments what you think. And then I'm going to ponder it for a little bit and see where I land, and we'll go from there. And the winner is green. Once I embossed this, I was like, oh, I've got to use this. Okay, so, but then I decided that I wanted to add a little bit of color to that panel since it is a full-size panel. And so what I did was I took some navy and I actually embossed it and with the 3D embossing folder, and you can actually just lay it right on top and kind of have half of it in blue and half of it in green. And I thought that would be kind of neat. And so I think I've landed on this. The navy isn't really a color in this in the love where I've colored, but I think the purple and the blue go quite nicely together. So I'm thinking that this is the direction that I'm going to head in this, and so I'm just going to start gluing it all together. That's what I'm going to do. So that looks kind of neat just like that. But I love that 3D embossing. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is work out where my letters need to be. And I know I've got to get them pretty close together so I can get that O on there where I want it. So I'll have to just work that out. And then we'll get that glued down. Okay. Okay, and I decided to use the sentiment from the Clear Stamp of the Month, How Did I Get So Lucky? And I just stamped it on some of the white, and I'm just going to lay it down like that. And I think that'll be really cute. Okay, to finish this one off, I went ahead and stamped the heart that was in the stamp kit to my Forever Person, and just did it on green with the navy that I did on the front. So that is my finished card. Okay, so in addition to this card, I also took those other panels that I embossed and made cards out of those as well. So I've got this one, which says Life with You is Awesome. Love You on the inside. And then I made this one that says, You always bring a smile to my face. You are loved. I made this one that is a shaker card that says, To my Forever Person. And it flips up, and on the inside it says, You're the one for me, love you. And then the other one that I made, that I showed you on the camera, I did finish it out, and I made it like this. And then on the inside it just has hugs and so happy. And those are the cards that I made. If you like, I'd ask that you might consider subscribing or giving me a thumbs up. Thank you.